there's a friendship there that goes deeper than the superficial level, and it's from like a week of knowing each other. So you just sort of have to look and go, well, if that's what can come from a week, what can come from a lifetime? I was around 12, 13 when I first sat down with my stepbrother, who'd been told he was kicked out of home at the end of that day, and sort of sat with him and went, we've got to get you somewhere. He was 16 at the time. I'm like, he can't not have a place to live, you know. He'd only just come to live with us, so he didn't have any mates. So like couch surfing wasn't an option. So my stepdad just dropped him on the side of the highway. And it was then that I'm like, oh crap, like where does he go? He's just, you know, he's on the side of the highway and he doesn't really, like, how does he get to this place that we'd arranged? You know, we didn't consider this. And we heard from sort of word on the street that he was living in and around the valley in Brisbane, and that he was on the streets and had sort of spiraled into a lot more serious drug use. And I remember going into the city on weekends and just seeing him, and he'd be like smashed off his face, and he was just sitting on like this, you know, a street corner or something, and we'd go and we'd sit down, and there were these, you know, there were other young kids who were about my age who have like gone to Queen Street Mall to go out, or there were business people who were going out for lunch, and they'd look at us and they'd kind of have that look of like, why do you care? Why are you with this kid? Like, what's it mean to you? You should just get up and continue walking. And that was when I suppose I started to think and to see that there's a need here, that there's a need for providing a social network, being friends with these people and just being there for them. And I think that whole situation God really used to show me where I should be, and it was through that I started to get interested in these kinds of issues. Mission isn't something that we have to go overseas to do. It's not something that we have to, it's a lifestyle. And so I really want to, in this coming year, take on board that lifestyle and just change and adapt to and grow to where God wants me to be. I got approached to come and do a Stump, and that just really reaffirmed where I wanted my life to go, and the sort of work and stuff that I wanted to be doing, and the community focus. And I really believe that one of the benefits of the internship is that we get to live on site. Like, it's something that I do quite enjoy, that I love being part of community, because a lot of our community members are from around this area or from nearabouts, and I can be on that same level. Like, I walk the same streets and I see the same things. If I were to ever have to do what I'm doing and travel in, I don't know that I'd be able to find that same comfort.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1.
Just grab the person next to you and shake their hand and say, well done. Well done, mate. Well done. Yeah, well done, everyone.
To be completely honest, I would probably say I'm as much in distress or in trouble or can't get it together as anybody else in our community. I mean, that outplays in my life a little bit differently, but I don't think I would be where I am and who I am if I didn't have them. And I think it's more of a walking beside each other, like, rather than giving them a hand up, or than trying to raise them to my level or to where my expectations say they should be. It's really just walking beside them. It's just about you journeying together.
How do you think? Okay, put your hand up. And I want you to attack her with that.
I think that the internship itself was an open door. Like, it cemented what I was going to do for the next 12 months, where it really gave me direction for the next year, but then also for the future and for times after that. And I've gained so much more from giving than I would have had I have tried to live this year for me. When I look at my life and I look at where it's going or where it's been or where it's whatever context you want to put it in, this has been a natural step, has been a natural progression. It was more me picking up the pace of that journey. It was more me like one day waking up and going, if I'm actually heading towards this goal, I've got to start seriously running towards it. Like I've got to start this journey and continue this journey with the same power and with the same enthusiasm that I began it. So it was really a re-recognizing or a re-understanding of where my goals were and where my future lay. You've just got to be prepared. Like you read the Bible and there's nothing in there that said, well, Jesus had nice comfy shoes and he walked down a paved road where everybody was, just standing around going, oh, would you like me to grab something for shade? Do you want a drink of water? Jesus did the hard yards, and so Edify and Stump is about doing that yourself and really living it and challenging yourself, which I think just leads to some of the greatest experiences. I just want to be open to what God has for me in my life and for where God's positioned me, and the church so often talks about for such a time as this, and I think that this was my for such a time as this. Like this is where God's placed me and this is where God's directed me to, and that my life experiences previous to the internship have really sort of geared me up to be in this place.